An extended question for you about cash payments. The 4-mark question. Explain 2 impacts Damien would need to consider when allowing customers to pay for goods with cash. We're not worried about what business Damien offers, we just need to know about him handling cash for his business. So let's break down the aim first of all. Which learning aim is this? This is part of learning aim B. It's about paying with cash, as cash is part of payment methods. So the question we need to start thinking about is, aren't there only good points with paying with cash for businesses? Next, it's about the exam command word explain, and what explain is asking you to do, and explain asks you to set out purposes or reasons for something. Hopefully by now you start thinking about how cash works for a business. So if you think of perhaps say a shop or a workshop, if a customer's paying for something, literally how does the customer hand over their money and what does the business do with the money? Let's really look at the 4-mark question, what it's asking. It's asking for you to state 2 impacts. Therefore, to get 4 marks, you need to state and add the explanation of how or why Damien's company needs to take some action. So a good formula to look at would be state plus explain why Damien needs to listen to you. And obviously doing that twice. Here's how it's going to work for the revision. We're going to look at 4 buckets. You're going to see what's in the 4 buckets. You're going to select things from each bucket. Your job is to then glue all the contents that you've selected from each bucket together, and you will then have, hopefully, a paragraph or 2 which will be your response to the 6-mark question. So the colour code and the revision key is remembering the process, the colour coded buckets that you need to go through, and we're going to show what it goes in each of those. In the green bucket you will find all the advantages. In the yellow bucket you will find the disadvantages. In the purple bucket you will find the high value connectives that you can select. And last but no means least, it is the conclusion, and don't think that it's a smaller bucket that means it's less points. This is where you can get your killer points with your justification. You'll be pleased to hear though that you don't need all 4 buckets for this one, so we're going to get rid of the yellow bucket. It's only asking us for advantages, so please feel safe, we can happily get rid of this bucket. And guess what, we don't need the conclusion bucket either, so that one can go. What you need to do for this question is to identify an impact to gain your 1st mark, and then state a reason for that impact in order for you to secure the 2nd mark, and you need to repeat that process for all 4 marks. The 2 straightforward reasons about the impact of allowing customers to pay for goods with cash. Then if Damien receives the cash, he's got to be able to store the cash in a safe place, and he's got to know how to handle cash as well. So those are the 2 statements. As you can see, they are simple statements, they're not extended at the moment. So this is where we move to the high value connectives bucket. So if you've been advised to state the impact to get your 1st mark, and then state a reason for that impact, so you've got to state it and then give a reason why you stated it, then those 2 things itself are actually suggesting that you need to go to an extended sentence. So we don't need disadvantages and we don't need conclusions. So what we're going to look at now is just expanding the high value connectives bucket so that we can put in it the extended sentence links. And as we're looking for extended sentences, then the stable connectives of because, and even the word so, and undervalued, but it is a good connective, they are good enough connectives for this purpose. I'm not suggesting there aren't any others, but we can use those as examples. So how do they link? How can you take those statements and give a reason for them? Well, here we go. Your job is to take these 2 reasons and join them effectively for an extended sentence with the 2 impacts listed in the green bucket. So then that would give you a 4-mark question if we can actually show an extended sentence for those 2 impacts.